Now, a lot of people, when they come to an exhibition, the better the exhibition is designed and laid out, the less they notice it. But this particular one, which is well designed and well received, has gotten a lot of people really notice it. Now, what were some of the special considerations for this exhibition?
The special consideration is that you have, at least this is what I try to achieve, is that people feel that they are in another environment. They are also in the church because there is a dialogue between the church and the Islam. That's why I was using this lattice work, so that you have absolute transparency between what you are looking at and where you are, so that you are all the time conscious of it, what you are doing. So I try with all my exhibitions, especially for the Nieuwe Kerk, where they are doing different cultures and different religions, that people feel that they have been there. So the environment and the colors and also the spatial design is very important.
Now, when we talked with John Vrieze, the curator here, he pointed out that it was specifically designed to go from, as you come into the garden here, and then you go from the pilgrimage and so on and so forth. When you do a design, do you work with a curator to come up with the concept, or how does that operate?
Well, in this case with John Vrieze, we made a lot of exhibitions together, Catharina the Great, together with the Hermitage, the Black Pharaohs. We did a lot of exhibitions together, and it is wonderful working with him, as he always has a certain dream and he is always laughing. And very often I ask him, well, John, do you really want to have a garden with fountains? And he said, absolutely, for this show. And we have to have birds and we have to have all this. And I said, is it real? And he said, yes, it's real. You are going to do it for me. And that is very nice to do it. So we were, especially for this exhibition, having a walk. So we had a warming up for this introduction space where we are standing in front, so that people get the masterpieces. And when you are walking through the exhibition, you are changing all the way the atmosphere of the exhibition by walking, as you said, from the mosque to the inscriptions, to the palace, to the gardens of the paradise, and to the jewelry, I mean, which is the end of the exhibition. You discuss it, of course, together, and only at the moment when it is already done, then people realize what was it all about.
For instance, the exhibition, the Islam exhibition, it's an old idea which we had. We thought it was important that in Dutch society people become a little bit more aware of the richness of Islamic culture. It was something, by the way, which our own curiosity as to that culture is also very great. So we thought it was a nice idea to delve into that, realizing and thinking of and hoping that our public would be interested in that in such a subject as well. And that idea was born perhaps 5, 6, 7 years ago. We toyed with that idea, and gradually it builds up. We invited Professor Petrovsky from the Hermitage to be our guest curator. And the exhibition grows and grows and grows. And at a certain stage, it's also, you have the collection, but it's, of course, extremely important that the collection, what you present, is for the ideas of what you want to present, but also the objects, that you take up contact with an exhibition designer to sort of work that out together, because it's something which the museum, the curator, the person who's putting the exhibition together, does together with the designer. Those are two various tasks which are intricately involved with each other.
Now, you're working in a very special area, because you're working in a 17th century Dutch Calvinist church that is very prominent here, and you're presenting an Islamic exhibition. Was this a problem, and how did you decide to overcome or integrate those two separate elements?
Well, it's one of the aspects of the Nieuwe Kerk. It is indeed the 17th century building. It's an architecture which is there. I mean, that is really, you have to respect that architecture. And from the very beginning, since we made exhibitions here, we've tried to let that architecture respect it and let it be one of the prominent features of the way everything is presented here. Our experience is that the best way of presenting exhibitions is to have the design of the exhibition be in dialogue with the architecture. So not to sort of deny the beauty of the building, however present that building is, however, the Gothic architecture you cannot think of the way, but to make a design which sort of plays with that, and responds to that in a certain sense. Islam and Christianity, of course, are two somewhat related, but in other respects, very, very different sort of religions. When I invited Jowa to do the design of the exhibition, I specifically asked him to achieve a good dialogue between the architecture, the Islamic architecture, which I wanted to have is sort of an Islamic character, and the Gothic, more Christian character of the architecture of the building.